All right, everybody, welcome in Season 3, Episode 1 of the Swishlist Podcast. We are back. We have a lot to talk about before opening night. Is Luka Dončić quietly becoming the most unstoppable player in basketball right now? Is this the last dance for the Warriors? Who are our contenders this season? Do we feel like there's any teams ready to take a major leap? And what players are about to fall off? Are there teams that are overhyped? Rookie of the year? Would you sign Russell Westbrook? We have so much to discuss, but let's jump in with our first topic. I want to talk about Luka Doncic. Genuinely, I believe this offseason, he has become the most unstoppable player in the league. You just haven't seen it. The only thing we've seen is the LA diet. We've seen this man slim down. But what does that mean in basketball terms? This guy went from being a dunking, scoring machine in his rookie year to never touching the rim last season, taking a team in the Dallas Mavericks to the finals, to finally feeling like maybe his frustrations with the refs were too much. What do you expect from Luka Doncic? Well, if it's me, I'm expecting an MVP-worthy season while King LeBron is sitting on the end of the bench just watching in his elevated chair because of his sciatica in his back. Old man Bron is going to watch the new guy, Luka, absolutely dominate this league. Do you believe me? What are your thoughts on that, Roman?
I have to agree. This has to be Luka's year. Just like you said with the LeBron injury, this is his team now. LeBron even said it last season, so I think this offseason was just more of a chance for Luka to really lock in on what he wants to do. The revenge arc is there. The star arc of just becoming the face of the league is there. He's on the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the two most notable teams in NBA history. So the league wants this from him. He's coming off of the Eurobasket, and Slovenia did an incredible job because Luka was playing.
Oh, yeah.
Which he delayed his NBA preseason to continue to do that. And like you said, he's slimmed down. Luka, we forget this guy was in the finals a year and a half ago. He led mediocre Mavs team. Let's really say that. I mean, PJ
Yeah.
Washington, and you have a rookie Derek Lively as your starting center for most of the time, and he led them to the finals and then was traded about 6 months later. Well, about 8 months later. The most unexpected trade in NBA history. That does not happen every day. Luka has been all NBA first team, I think 5 or 6 of the 7 years that he's been in the league. And there's no sign of him slowing down, no major injury at all. So he continues to be in the conversation for MVP. And I'm agreeing with you 100%. This is the year that he finally does lock it in and wins an MVP because Jokic has got his, Giannis he's got plenty of his, Shea just got his, and Luka's been around a while. He's no rook anymore. He's not a young guy. He's becoming a vet. He's been traded now, so this is definitely his year to win that MVP.
And LeBron's just not going to be there. Like, we already know that it's going to be significant time before he sees the floor. And anybody that's listening to this podcast, you know I'm not a Luka guy. You know what it takes for me to get on here after being away and to say Luka Doncic for MVP. It takes everything in me knowing that this is what's going to happen. Now, we can't just act like there aren't other players in this league. Jokic still exists. SGA still exists. There are still major players that are going to be in that discussion, those being the most notable two. But I'm curious, right? Every season we see these players elevate their game. We see new faces, new names that want to insert themselves into things like the MVP discussion. Roman, do you have a dark horse this season for MVP? Who's going to be in that conversation?
I could give you 3, and I know there's one that you're going to love, but it really just depends on his team's success. I
Yo,
think you can already I'll save him for last. The main guy that I've been thinking of is Cade Cunningham. I think the Pistons are going to improve drastically just because
that's a
the
bit
guys
of
are
a
getting older and they're
stretch.
getting come on, don't do this. Let's not act like they went from losing how many in a row was it? 27 in a row to being the
Significant.
6th seed last year. And the only reason they lost is because Jalen Brunson went off. Cade Cunningham had an incredible season last year. I think he's going to back it up by averaging well over 25 points per game, probably 8 and 8 at least. and the Pistons are going to be a good seed. I mean, like I said, they get Jaden Ivey back. They do, even though he just got injured again in preseason, but they get him back, and he was putting up great numbers before he got hurt. So I think Cade Cunningham is going to have an incredible year leading the Pistons. Multiple triple doubles. We're seeing multiple triple doubles every single week from him. So him, and then I'll jump to Jalen Brunson. I think the Knicks are going to be either the 1 or the 2 seed in the East. As much as I don't like the Knicks, they didn't change up their lineup that much. They didn't lose too many pieces, and they gained the former 6th man of the year, Jordan Clarkson. So, like, the Knicks, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So, and they've been competing for a championship for a few years now, and all they did was gain Karl-Anthony Towns. So, with the performance from Jalen Brunson last year in the playoffs, which I think just got a little overshadowed by what Tyrese Halliburton did, Jalen Brunson is one of the most clutch players I have ever seen play basketball, and I think he puts up around 30 points per game, and the Knicks are the 1 or the 2 seed, and he puts himself at the top of that MVP conversation, which will be interesting because we don't usually see the 6'1" point guard in the MVP conversation. That there has been, the only person I could think of more recently would be Steph Curry and Russell Westbrook as the shorter guards, and they're 6'3", and he's doing it at 6'1". So watch out for the Knicks. Watch out for Jalen Brunson up there, first team All NBA, MVP conversation. And then my final dark horse to enlighten Moses is Anthony Edwards. It has to be said. I mean, just based off of the season he had last year and leading his team to the Western Conference Finals, he's coming back for some vengeance. He's turning into a vet at such a young age. The success of Team USA, the role that he played for that team, and going to multiple Western Conference finals, it's notable, especially at such a young age. At some point, it's got to break through for this guy, and I think he's just getting sick of losing, and this season is an opportunity for him to dominate the West and dominate the league because he's in that conversation of future faces of the league. So, yeah, another one of I shouldn't even say dark horse. People have been talking about this for a long time, but I think Anthony Edwards puts himself in that top 5 conversation for MVP this year.
Listen, he's the only name of your dark horse list that is even relevant. Okay. The Detroit Pistons have never had an MVP. They're not going to start now. Okay.
You got defensive player of the year. And they got championships.
No, it's not. Okay. So Cade, unfortunately, his team is just going to remove him from that conversation because that team has never seen it happen. And it certainly won't be this year. You can count on that. Okay. And 2, Jalen Brunson is a great player. Awesome. He's great. Had a great run for the Knicks. The last 2 6'1" guards to win MVP, 6'1" guards. Allen Iverson and your guy, Derrick Rose. And this man is not either of those players. Okay. Not at all. No, he is not.
Whoa. Okay, you are disrespecting Brunson right now. Wow.
Really? So who's he close to? Allen Iverson? I don't think so.
I mean, as a scorer, how can you say he's not?
Well, I don't know. Maybe AI went to the finals. I don't think Brunson was able to go to the finals.
Brunson's got plenty of years, and like I'm saying, I think this year is a chance for him to show it.
I don't
He
think
hasn't
so.
shown it before, but
Who did Brunson lose to last year? Who did he lose to?
He lost to my Pacers.
You better believe it. If you can't beat Indiana,
don't even.
Sorry.
The Pacers took OKC to 7 games, Moses.
I'm
the
sorry.
Took OKC to 7 games, and they only lost because Tyrese got hurt. Let's talk about it.
I'm sorry.
Let's talk
the
about
facts
it.
are the facts. The facts are the facts. Allen Iverson would have beat that team. Derrick Rose would have beat that team. Derrick Rose would have beat that team.
Say that.
You don't think Derrick Rose would have beat that team? Is that what you want? You're taking Halliburton over D Rose?
That Oklahoma City Thunder team is one of the greatest offensive and defensive teams of all time.
I'm saying that Sixers team and that Bulls team would have beaten the Pacers and played in the finals. I'm not saying that they're sweeping the Thunder in the finals.
I don't think so.
Yes, they are.
I don't think so.
They are.
I don't think so. I'm a major Pistons fan. I mean, Pacers fan. But let's talk about it. Pascal, Tyrese is going off.
No,
you've also got Aaron Nesmith and Andrew Nembhard, who are putting up incredible numbers. Miles Turner. You've got Obi Toppin coming off the bench. You got
Come on.
TJ McConnell coming off the bench.
Listen,
Right.
listen to
One
me.
of the
Listen
greatest
to me.
playoff runs of all
Listen to
time.
me. Derrick
And
Rose is dunking on
Him
Halliburton.
beating a Tumbo and Iverson
Derrick-
are beating that team? Come on, Mo.
Listen, Derrick
Come
Rose
on.
is dunking on Halliburton. He's gonna have Halliburton hitting the Will Dafoe meme, looking up in the air.
Halliburton
Derrick
won't
Rose
be
is
guarding him.
tomahawk
Halliburton
dunking.
won't be guarding him. Won't be guarding him. Aaron Nesmith locking him up. Not locking him up, but we're going to contain him. And Derrick
No.
Rose is also one of my favorite players of all time. But
It's
I just
it's absolute. Like, watch your profanity. Like,
the numbers show it, Mo.
You shouldn't even be allowed to talk like this.
The
Genuinely,
numbers show it.
Anthony Edwards is a real dark horse for MVP. He is a real dark horse MVP. And here's why. Because the MVP is a narrative-based award. That's what it is. And the narrative has already been wrote since he was on Team USA. The runs that he's had in the postseason, the teams that and the players that he's been able to beat. If we're talking about a guy, if you tell me Luka ends up with an injury, SGA somehow isn't available in the month of January for whatever reason, and Anthony Edwards has he scores another 3 or 4 points a game, he learns how to pass out of the post and can score the ball. This man was getting coaching from the GOAT himself, from Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was teaching him how to play in the post, teaching him post moves. I'm expecting this man, Anthony Edwards, to go to another level. You can, hey, believe that. That's what I'm saying.
That I agree with you, but he's the worst dark horse at that point for me. He's not even dark horse. It's just like it's kind of expected at this point.
That's the dumbest thing you could possibly say over the course of the rest of this episode. I'm honestly thinking about leaving. The worst of the three.
Yes, in terms of a dark horse, yes.
Pistons have never had an MVP. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it.
It's the dark horse.
I'll just leave it at that. I'll just say that my Timberwolves have had an MVP. Just,
Yeah, and what did they do?
saying.
They lost every
Just
time to
saying.
Kobe Bryant. They lost
We've
every
had an
year,
MVP.
ever.
We've had one. Okay, let's talk title contenders. My question to you, Roman, is this the Warriors' last dance? I'm going to need you to give me 3 reasons why the Warriors could win a ring this season.
Okay, for this year, the 3 reasons why the Warriors could win a ring, number 1, obviously, is just Steph and Curry. It's Steph Curry.
Wardell.
He showed that in 2022. Nobody thought that the 4 seed Warriors were going to beat that Celtics team in the finals. And the run that he did it off of was just incredible. So the first reason I will give you is just the fact that they have the greatest shooter of all time. Steph can give you 40. He can give you 45 on any given night. He can get 12 threes on any given night. And that's the first reason. Second reason, I give it up to the depth. They're a deep team. They just gained Al Horford. Yeah, they lose Kevon Looney, but I'm confused with what their starting lineup could be this year. Podziemski, Kuminga, like who are we starting? I mean, if you go your veteran lineup, they're one of the oldest teams in the league because you go. I mean, besides if you start Podziemski at the 2, let's say you go Podziemski at the 2, Steph, Podziemski, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Al Horford.
No,
that's a lot of old people.
That's not good.
Who are you kicking to the bench? This is my question. But let me give you the third reason.
I could tell you that right now, but go ahead.
The third reason is I give it up to the coaching. I mean, Steve Kerr is a great coach. He has rings as a player. He's got rings as a coach. I think a lot of people would disagree on him being a good coach, and it's just the players that he's had. But I really think Steve Kerr is a good coach in the NBA, and he's proven it through the man has a lot of rings. He's got a lot of experience playing basketball. So those are my main 3 reasons that the Warriors could be winning a title just based off of who they are as a team, too. They're just so good. One thing that could make it that they don't win a championship, one big thing I think is going to be Kuminga. The man finally got his contract. He got paid. Is it the type of thing where it's, I just got my money, let me prove to this organization why they just paid me all this money? And it brings those chemistry issues. He's not giving the ball to Steph. He's not giving it up to Jimmy. And it ruins any type of team chemistry. They lose a few games that they shouldn't be losing. I think of the time when Draymond didn't give the ball to Kevin Durant at the end of that game, and that's what they say ended that Warriors era. Kevin Durant was out after that moment. Kuminga's a very good young player. It's just the fact that he's on the Warriors and has to shy away to Steph Curry and now Jimmy Butler that he's not getting the chance to shine. So I think him finally getting his contract, whether it was enough money, but him taking the opportunity to be like, I'm a star in this league and I'm going to show it, could be a reason why young guy tries to shine and they end up not winning. So that's my take on the Warriors.
I think you've been watching too much ESPN. The fact that you're going to try and point the finger at a guy like Jonathan Kuminga as the reason why these Warriors are not going to win a ring. I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's the same reason it's been for the last few years. Okay. Steve Kerr continues to want to roll out these lineups that do not functionally make sense in the NBA today. Okay. It's not 2022. It's not 2017. It's not 2015. It's not any of these seasons where the Warriors were dominant. You want to know why? Because there's guys like Jokic that exist. Al Horford, the fact that he even made a statement that he would want to play for a contender, which is why he didn't stay with the Celtics and then chose to sign with the Warriors, is a joke. Listen, I'm never going to take anything away from Steph Curry. He is the greatest shooter of all time. But you know what he's not? He's not going to put the team on his back and win a title this season. That's just going to be a fact. Because if we're going to roll out undersized pods at the 2, undersized Jimmy Butler at the 3, you can't tell me we're going to roll Draymond Green and Al Horford and act like that's going to win a title this year. It just isn't. That team's not going to beat the Houston Rockets. That team's not going to beat the Denver Nuggets. They're certainly not going to beat the Thunder. I don't even think they could beat the Lakers. I genuinely think this is where we're at in terms of basketball fandom, where for some reason we still want to hold on to Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, LeBron James, and we want to act like they're going to be these dominant players that they were 10 years ago, 12 years ago, in LeBron's case, even 15 years ago, when the reality is these players are still capable of major scoring performances, putting up rebounds and assists. But the difference now is that those metrics do not translate into meaningful wins. Okay. And when I'm talking meaningful wins, yeah, they can win a game on December 22nd, but they're certainly not going to win a game in April with that type of play. Case in point, look at Durant trying to even get into the postseason, how difficult it's been for him. And he's still been a fantastic scorer. So like the Warriors have really no chance at a ring. There is no last dance. Okay. That documentary was shot in 2022. It's not happening right now. And you're not going to put Draymond Green in front of me and tell me that that man is going to be holding another trophy at any point if he's wearing a Warriors uniform.
I remember hearing the same thing 2021 season. Steph's coming off an injury. Draymond's probably not going to be on the team. Klay Thompson's washed. The guy's old. They picked up Andrew Wiggins. What's that going to do for their team? Kevon Looney scored here.
Okay,
you can't win a championship with Kevon Looney at your center.
Oh my God.
Draymond's not the same player he was in 2016. I remember all these takes being said, but I'm not even a Steph fan. But there's anybody who can shut him up, it's Steph Curry, and he's also got Jimmy Butler by his size. And you said Jimmy Butler's not his size. This is the guy who was running the 4 for the Heat.
Jimmy is not that guy anymore. I'm sorry. He's not. He's not that type of player.
Jimmy can put up 17 points a game and just be the dog that he is. And that is good enough because he has Steph Curry on it.
I'm not going to lie to you. You're making me look like I'm being a hater because I have to balance these takes that you have. They are so out of bounds. I have to work so hard on the other side to bring you back to reality.
You act like this team didn't win a championship 3 years ago, bro. Like, it's not even a hot take. It's really not. It's the Warriors, bro. They have the experience. They do. And you can move Pajemski out of the starting lineup and put Kuminga in there. Who's undersized now? Steph Curry?
Listen,
Kuminga is reported probably at least 6'8", 6'9". Like,
if I'm rolling out a starting 5 for the Golden State Warriors, Pods is not in it. Pods is first off the bench, I don't want to go Steph and Pods. I feel like that backcourt is too small. That's genuinely how I feel. I think if you're a team like the Pacers were a great example when they had a healthy Halliburton, they can have more of an undersized two guard. One, because Halliburton is oversized, and two, because he was such a dominant defensive player. My problem with Pods is he's a liability on defense, and Steph is a willing defender, but not a quality defender. Pods cannot stay in front of these guys. You know it.
We're
I'm
talking
not
about
saying he can't
Quads,
get a steal. I'm not saying he can't
the
get a
man who
steal.
led the league in charges, I think 1 or 2 years ago. I
Okay,
think Pods is going to be
we're
fine.
gonna act like taking a charge. We're gonna act like taking a charge.
That's a turnover creating.
Kyle Lowry, we used to take a lot of charges. Was he a defensive specialist?
Not a specialist, but he wasn't a liability.
Oh my God.
Only a liability in the post.
Listen, listen to this. This is what I'm saying with you. It's so I can't even talk to you sometimes. It's
I'm an
what's
optimistic guy. Everybody's getting their shot, Mo. Everybody's getting their chance.
I'm not, I don't believe a starting five with Pods is winning a ring. I think if he's off the bench, I think you're in a great position, but I would not put Pods at the 2. I just wouldn't.
Okay, so if you do bring him off the bench and Kuminga starts because he just got paid, let's say they do that. Let's say I'm wrong there and they start him. Still no title contention, you don't think?
I don't
Just
think so. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. And I think the only Kuminga dynamic that I'm willing to subscribe to is that the relationship with him and Kerr is just not going to work out long term. Who's going to be the cause of that? Is it going to be Kerr? Is it going to be Kuminga? I don't know. But I feel like that relationship is too fractured. I just do.
Okay, so we can agree on that with Jonathan Kuminga trying to make a point this season.
I can agree with something is going to blow up in that organization, and the two
Just like
names
if
that
you
are
were
going to
Jordan
be
Poole.
there are going to be Kuminga and Kerr.
Okay.
That's what I
So
find.
Draymond isn't the problem for any of us. This is kind of crazy.
It is a little strange, isn't it? Listen, let's talk about some other title contenders. Roman, who do you have on your list?
Obviously, the team who was coming off a championship, second youngest team in the history of the league to win a championship. You have to put OKC at the top. Who did they lose? Nobody. Who did they gain? They gained their first round pick who was injured the entire season. Their first round lottery pick, let me add, not just a pick, a lottery pick. So they have to be at the top. They've been the 1 seed for the past 2 years in a row. And the first year was just kind of a flop, young team, never seen the playoffs. Now everybody's got experience. Everybody's got experience. You get the whole lineup back and everybody improves. So you keep them at the 1. You obviously keep them at the 1. Then with my 2 to 5 spot, it's just a mix of any 4 teams here. I think the Nuggets improved by getting rid of Michael Porter Jr. and getting Cam in return. They get a better defender.
Hey, the new podcast P, Michael Porter.
Yeah. What an offseason that man has had. Wow. That man became the content creator, putting out every take. He realized he's not competing for a championship anymore. He's got to get his views up somehow. But yeah, I think getting rid of him and replacing him with a more versatile player, I'll say overall. Michael Porter Jr. is incredible, but the role that Cam played for his team when they went to the finals and the role he played for the Suns, I think is a perfect role for Jokic to have. Spot up shooter, but can also create for himself, which he showed on the Nets. He showed on the Suns.
Selfless player.
Exactly. Which is exactly the type of players that the Nuggets are looking for.
Yeah.
For Jokic to play with. And Aaron Gordon is going to step up because we saw it in the playoffs. The dude was hitting game-winning 3-pointers, which I've never seen from Aaron Gordon. So I think we see almost a magic mix of him when he was, putting up 20 points per game for them. Just I think more is going to be asked for him offensively this year. And they got Bruce Brown back too from their championship year. The championship vibes are there. The championship vibes are just move on. I talked about how I am on the Knicks. I think the Knicks are in my top 5. They, again, just a team that didn't lose anybody. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Not much needs to be said. Like I said, Jalen Brunson in the MVP conversation. Karl Anthony Towns, one of the greatest big men shooters of all time. And they have their defense. And they have a new coach. So watch out for the Knicks. And then Of course, you have the Rockets with this interesting lineup of possibly an all 7-foot lineup almost. Their shortest guy, if they did run their tall lineup, would be Amen Thompson, who's about 6'7" or 6'8". And then you have Jabari Smith, Kevin Durant, Albert Şengün, and Steven Adams, and they get Clint Capella off the bench, and they have Dorian Finney-Smith. Like, yeah, this is the only thing that they lost is the youth of Jalen Green, and Fred VanVleet is out for the season, unfortunately.
Oh, bro, don't
They
forget
still have,
about that guy.
they still have Tari Eason. They still have Reed Shepherd. Watch out for the Rockets. And then another team, this will be my dark horse for a team that I would watch out for, is the Magic. 2 years ago, this team was a 5 seed, and 2 years is a lot of time. They get Jalen Suggs back, who is coming off of an injury. I think they're going to be the most improved team from last year. And I
Okay.
see them anywhere from 3 seed to about 5 seed. That's where I see the Magic. Desmond Bane is an incredible basketball player. This guy is going to put up 20 points per game. Their starting lineup is going to be so good. If you can keep Jalen Suggs healthy, you have Jalen Suggs at the 1, very versatile defender, and is going to give you points. You have Desmond Bane at the 2, and then your forward positions, you can just rotate them. You can rotate Fonz and Paulo. They're Fonz at the 3, Paulo at the 4, and then Wendell at the 5. I'd watch out for the Magic this year. That's what I'll say. So that's kind of like my top 5. Throwing the Magic in there just because I do like their players.
Sure.
Obviously, they're probably not going to win a championship, but I want to throw that out there just in case they do what I say they're going to do.
There are a handful of teams that stand out to me that you did not mention, okay? No Cavs, no Lakers, no Timberwolves, where are we?
No,
Really?
no, I think those are obviously, your backup contenders, but the Lakers, new center teams usually don't work out, especially with Ayton. I don't see it very much. With the Cavs, injury-prone team every single year. I don't care if they're the 1 seed. I don't care if they're the 4 seed. It's the same thing every year. It's Donovan Mitchell carrying the team without Darius Garland because he's undersized and gets turf toe in game 1 of the first round of the playoffs, and he's out for 4 weeks. And then your defensive player of the year, Evan Mobley, out for 3 weeks with a calf strain. Jared Allen. The Cavs are kind of cursed. Seems like LeBron, if you don't have LeBron, the Cavs aren't going to be there. And then what other team did you mention? The Timberwolves. You're just a Timberwolves fan. It's probably going to be Western Conference Finals, and they're out again. They lost Karl Anthony Towns. Like, Naz Reid is not the 6th man of the year that he was before. At most Western Conference Finals, and they're gone again.
I don't really hate the picks, to be quite honest with you. I really don't.
I thought you would hate the Magic pick. I'll say that. People are going to hate that Magic pick.
The thing about the Magic is just that they're so fun to watch, and you can feel the energy from the team. Like, they are all committed to the process, to the system. They just, at their best, they're the Thunder 3 years ago. Like, they're breaking into the postseason. Maybe they have another breakout year. But if we're talking about when they have the best opportunity to be successful, you got to look at it as this season with Boston being down Jason Tatum. Like, if there was a year for them to truly make that run, Halliburton injury, Tatum major injury. So you're talking the Knicks, who, let's be real, have the, other than Brunson, every player on that roster can disappear. And you already mentioned the Cavs and their health, and Donovan Mitchell, number 1 seed, can't get it done in the postseason, is every season of his career. It's crazy. So if there was a season that Orlando could make a very deep run and it's totally justified, man, it has to be this year. It has to be this year. And I'd love to see it. I really would, because they're so fun to watch. So I don't hate it. Now, if I'm talking about a team that I believe is going to make the biggest leap this season, right? Yours being Orlando. Mine is the San Antonio Spurs. You'd be hard-pressed to find very many rosters as deep as this roster with this many young players. I know that these guys got boat raced last season. I'm aware of it. I know how they got the number 2 pick, okay? But I'm looking at the Bryant pick late in the draft and the defensive ability that he brings with Wemby. I'm looking at the fact that they have Fox and they have Harper and they just have so many players. They have so much raw talent. I believe this is a year where the Spurs truly do take a major step forward. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to be a top 3 seed. That doesn't mean they're going to be a top 5 seed. But we're talking about a team that was at the bottom of the Western Conference that I believe is going to be a playoff conversation type team. And you might find yourself late this year when we're talking about the Warriors ending up in yet another play-in, okay? Or maybe the Phoenix Suns trying to vie for a play-in, or the Memphis Grizzlies running into a team like the San Antonio Spurs and getting knocked out and knocked off. And we get to see Wemby for the first time enter the postseason. I believe this is the year that we see Victor Wembanyama take the San Antonio Spurs back into the postseason. And if we're talking about the jump in the standings to getting into the postseason for a franchise, that's name me another team that's capable of making a leap that big.
I can't disagree with you here. I mean, like you said, bottom of the West to Wemby was out for most of the season last
Yeah.
year. Well,
Yep.
and if we're talking about generational talents, Wemby's right up there. Seems like he's only getting taller and he's only getting better. So,
This man was with the monks, okay?
yeah.
This man was training like Batman, okay?
The Spurs got the generational talent
Yeah.
of Wemby, and just their depth of youth. It could be a make or break type of season if it truly just does fall forward. But De'Aaron Fox as your starting point guard, you just got the number 2 pick in Dylan Harper. You
Yep.
have the person who just won Rookie of the Year last year in Stephon Castle. You have Devin Vassell, who is a 20-point per game scorer. You have Luke Cornett, who they just picked up from the Celtics, who was a solid big man, and they've been running this Twin Towers lineup where Wemby and Cornett are lobbing each other in the preseason. We've been seeing it, and then your bench, you still have Keldon Johnson, you still have Jeremy Sohan, you still have Harrison Barnes. Like the depth on this team, you've got a little mix of the youth and the old age, and who knows what some of those young guys were able to pick up from Chris Paul last year, especially with all the guards that they have. Like a make or break type of team. Definitely the Spurs. You could see them blowing out a team in the playoffs just because De'Aaron Fox puts up 30 points and Wemby has 8 blocks. So very interesting to see what the Spurs are going to do this year.
Yeah, I love that. I think that we're kind of in agreement in terms of teams that are coming in overhyped. For me, I'm looking at Golden State. I made that abundantly clear early. I'm also looking at the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell to me he's a regular season player. He's able to score a lot of points on any given day in the regular season. But when it comes to the postseason, there's just that the players are too big, they're too strong, they're just better, the teams are better, and he just isn't really able to deliver in those moments. And the Warriors, I think, are just too old. So if I'm talking about overhyped teams, those are really the two that stand out to me. I'm going to hold that take. It doesn't matter how many games these teams win. I believe both of them are looking for deep postseason runs, and I think both of them are not going to get there.
It's valid. I'll disagree with you with the Warriors. I think they're as much as I don't like Steph Curry. He's not my favorite player, but I know what this man is capable of. He showed it 3 years ago. He showed it Team USA last year, so I have faith in them. And
Well, who are your overhyped teams then?
overhyped teams,
Mm-hmm.
we're coming off a year where the Celtics, they will be overhyped 100%. I think it's going to be shown just how important Jason Tatum was to the Celtics. People joke on him all the time, but we all know deep down that Jason Tatum is one of the best players in the league.
Yes.
He is.
Yes.
And that isn't something that won't show up. It won't. It can't be. Jalen Brown is a great player in the NBA, but I think he's able to be as good as he is because of how much focus teams put on Jason Tatum. So I think this is the type of year where Jalen Brown sort of gets exposed for the superstar that he is, because to me, it's 1A, one. There's a better player and there's a not as good player. Jason Tatum has always been the better player to me. Jalen Brown is number 2. If you want to go 1A, 1B, Jason Tatum's 1A, always.
Jalen Brown, listen, the man can't dribble with his left hand, okay?
It's exactly. It's stuff like that doesn't matter to a team because Jason Tatum's out there. So I think this is a year where Derek White is going to be his. He just put up 33 points in a preseason game. Like, if there's a year where Derek White has the opportunity to be a 20, 25 point per game scorer, no knock to Derek White at all. He's an incredible basketball player, incredible defender. But if he's your second option, we know what kind of team this is.
Okay, so when I'm looking at the Boston Celtics, this is the thing that you guys have to pay attention to. Okay, when we're talking about overhyped team, that doesn't mean they're going to miss the postseason. Okay, we're still talking about the East, but here's the truth, right? Teams, when they were putting together a scouting report, Jason Tatum was a major threat, right? They wanted the ball out of Tatum's hands. That's what they wanted. And Jalen Brown, this is a guy who's always wanted this moment, but has never really known what it actually means. He's about to get the full experience of what it is to be the number one option day in, day out, the entire season into the postseason. And I just don't think that he's built for the moment. I just don't. I think if Jalen Brown is your second best player, you are right there to win a title. Absolutely. But I think if Jalen Brown is your best player, a guy that can't dribble with his left hand, a guy that doesn't, I believe, have the greatest court vision. I don't see a ring, and I'm okay with that. And I think that deep down, even Boston Celtics fans know that
it's a down year. It's a down year.
Over your eyes, go to sleep, wake up next season. You need to hibernate. Wait till next year, because this one's just not your year.
If you're trying to decide between starting Sam Hauser or Xavier Tillman at your 4 spot, and they picked up Chris Boucher as their center over the offseason, we know what that is. We know what kind of year this is. It's
100%.
It's a down year for the Celtics. At most, I see them.
You know what? Call it a developmental year. Hey, we got guys that we believe can maybe improve, can step into roles that they haven't been able to before. We can log this as a developmental year. We can retool, come back, and make a major run. I'm looking at a team like Golden State when Clay went out, right? This is when he got hurt the way that he did, that team had to retool, and they ended up winning that title against the Boston Celtics. Maybe this becomes that year for Boston, where they've got players that are able to make major strides developmentally so that they can come back and make another run when Tatum's back.
Jason Tatum saying he's going to make a return this year.
Yeah, they need to not let that happen.
Will not let that happen.
Yeah, they will. No.
This ain't
risky for what? For what reason?
It's not like he's not dealing with an arm injury or something. Like, it's the Achilles, the one that even Kobe was taking. He took about 13, 14 months to come back from. So
100%.
If there's somebody who shouldn't rush into this, I would think you're 6'9", very versatile. Like,
his prime,
he's not making the Kevin Durant type of switch of play style. If I'm him, I'm not forcing it. You take this year off and you let people see how important you are to the Celtics. Let them have their down year to show. Let them appreciate you this year. So I would hate to see him rush into it and deal with ankle injuries, hamstring injuries, Achilles injuries, knee injuries for the rest of his career just because he forced it.
100%. There's so many players that talk about rushing to get back off of a big injury, and they just never were the same the rest of their career. And Tatum has so much ahead of him, and enough people that already are against him that, like, you really should make sure that you are absolutely all the way there, because some of the greatest players of all time have missed entire seasons. Michael Jordan's missed an entire season. Kobe's had big time injuries. It's not uncommon for top players to be out for extended stretches, but we don't need to take any risk here. I want to get to some less league-wide topics, maybe some more fun topics. I've been trying to look at some comparisons to the NFL. Obviously, I'm a big NFL guy. Love the sport. Any given Sunday, you can see just the most wild upsets. Flacco beating, getting traded, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers, throwing for like 350 yards, 3 TDs. Like it's in any given Sunday league. And as I've watched teams like the Buffalo Bills with and just Josh Allen is just this incredible talent. Just can do everything, can throw the ball everywhere. He's an incredible player. It reminded me, and it kind of scares me a little bit because it reminds me so much of the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks have one of the most physically dominant phenoms of a generation that we have ever seen. The likes of which at times Giannis has been compared to Shaquille O'Neal. I'm afraid that the Milwaukee Bucks as an organization who, yes, just signed another Antetokounmpo brother, are mismanaging Giannis Antetokounmpo. They do not know how to compose a roster around this man or to hold a boundary to ensure that they give themselves the best chance to win a ring, in the same way that Josh Allen can't get top receivers. I can't name half the players on his defense. Like, what is this roster around this MVP? I look at the Milwaukee Bucks. I look at what they're planning on presenting this season, and I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated. I don't understand it. And this is me saying, once again, when you have these teams that have an opportunity to make a deep run with the Boston Celtics are not here. The Pacers are not relevant right now without Halliburton. What are we doing with Giannis? What is the plan here with no cap space? All of these old players, like what are we doing? Help me see what I'm not seeing here.
No, I think you're seeing it exactly right. I mean, you don't have Giannis over the offseason has not been an issue ever. And this year specifically, he's moving his family back to Greece, you know.
He talked about wanting to finish his career in Greece. This
Yeah.
man, like, what is he even focused on?
Well, this is my thing is, if things were going good with the Bucks organization, why would he ever consider leaving the greatest league in the world? So
That's a
it's
good point. That's a great point.
it's
That's great.
100% there's issues in the organization, just like you're saying, and he's got problems with it. So when he makes public statements, you know, he doesn't say it directly, but it's like kind of implied to me that stuff is not going good in the organization. He doesn't like what's going on, whether that be players wise or if that is just who's running the organization. But yeah, there's obviously issues there. And I'd love your comparison to Josh Allen. The fact that Giannis is saying those things in the offseason, which I feel like Giannis is usually a pretty quiet guy in the offseason, shows that there is some things going wrong. And I think they were heavily depending on the Dame thing. And it was one of those kind of panic moves. We need to reset. We're going to get rid of Dame to open up some money for some other players and make some moves. And you go out and get Cole Anthony and Kevin Porter Jr. is your starting point guard now.
Yeah.
You go sign the Pacers center. You get Miles Turner. You lose Brook Lopez. I think just some weird moves that I think Giannis wasn't expecting, and he's just like, what is the team that I know and love? Like, what has this become? Oh, who knows? I mean, him saying things like wanting to finish his career in Greece is unbelievable for a guy who we've been talking about as probably a top 2 player of the 2020s. Like, you can't really debate that. And it's insane that he's just like, I don't want to finish my career here.
It's crazy that we have a guy talking about finishing his career in Greece, and you've got players like Russell Westbrook who could make so much money overseas, and we're just doing anything and everything in their power to end up on a roster. Now, granted, he did now, right? He's with Sacramento, but it's just what a strange league.
Weird. You don't see this from superstars. Usually the organization is willing to do anything for them.
Well, yeah, but when I look at the NFL has embraced their new generation superstars. Lamar, Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. They're pushing Herbert into that conversation. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, right? Myles Garrett. They push their players. The players that are actually dominant in the era that is playing right now, they showcase. When I look at the NBA, we are still focused on 3 players: LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry. And I could give you what I believe is a reason why. Those 3 players came into their prime really as social media absolutely took off. Instagram became what it was while these players became dominant players. And when I'm looking at the trends of the league relative to what's happening in the world, I'm looking at a guy like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan became a major phenom at the time when we were transitioning into the media becoming so much more prevalent, right? That generation where you read what happened on games in the paper, when you saw a game on tape delay, to watching the game live and looking at what Michael Jordan is doing every single day. And the fact that those lights were so bright, even too bright for a guy like him. Even artists like Michael Jackson, same thing, right? Just this generational change happened as they were at the top of their game. And it cemented them as this generational player that no one could ever get past. When I look at LeBron and I look at Curry and I look at Kevin Durant, I believe the NBA, it's a league made for Instagram. It's a league made for TikTok, right? I want to watch the highlights of the game on a 4-minute video on my phone. I don't have to watch the whole game. I want to hear the sound bites. I want to see the shoes. I want to hear all these things. It is a league that is more consumed on social media than I believe there are people sitting down watching ESPN on a Tuesday night. That's just a core belief of mine. And we have a generation that watched these players from start to finish. LeBron obviously ushering in that transition because, this guy's been around since the Facebook started, to guys like Durant and Curry that were there as Instagram really took off and TikTok's now taken off. I think that when I look at the the next generation of players and people's inability to really embrace them and allow them to go to that next level, it's because there really is no movement in technology that's going to pass the types of media that we're consuming right now. And those 3 players dominate that media. I'm asking myself, who has the best chance to win a ring? Is it KD with the young Rockets? Is it Steph with the old Warriors? Or is it LeBron who's sitting out until December, who has Luka Dončić? Because I know in the back of my mind, that's just where the league is. We're going to talk about these 3 guys. We're going to talk about these 3 teams. We're going to expect everything from them. When in reality, it's Jokic's league. It's SGA's league. It's Jason Tatum's league. It's Anthony Edwards trying to take over the league. You have these young players that truly are who we should be focusing on in the same way we look at Mahomes and Burrow and Allen. But this is the equivalent of us talking about Aaron Rodgers, when he played for the Green Bay Packers. That's what it's like, thinking that we're going to have LeBron go on this incredible run and win another title. I don't know. Am I off base?
No, because I think the comparison to other sports leagues is exactly true. The stars have their moment and then they move on. It's what happens. But you have this unique thing in the NBA, like people saying LeBron's year 23, it's the most incredible thing in sports. It really is, but it shows how much of a different league the NBA is.
Yeah.
With football, you guys' careers are 4 to 6 leagues. The guys' careers are only 4 to 6 years. In the NBA, you have a guy who's doing quadruple that. It's insane. Like you said, the top 3, the Steph is heading into year 17. Kevin Durant heading into year 19. They're old at this point. And I think your comparison of talking about highlights and stuff like that is exactly right. Adam Silver literally said this over the offseason. They were talking about how awful League Pass is compared to all the other ones because you can't watch your local games. You can't watch the nationally televised games.
Yes.
It's really weird how it works, but Adam Silver literally said this isn't a league for watching the whole game. It's a highlight league.
Yep.
And it's truly what it has become. You watch your 5-minute clip after the game because the difference with the NBA is it's so repetitive. Even with the NFL, it's you have options. Different things can happen so many times, but the NBA is just becoming so repetitive with the how the three ball is initiated into the
Yeah.
game, and everybody's just so athletic, and everybody's running these same lineups, these same offenses and defenses declining, those types of things. And it really just shows how much of a different league that the NBA is. And I don't know what it's going to take to change that, but I think it's a ripple effect with what we're talking about, you know? You get different types of views from people because people aren't watching the games, they're watching the highlights. And so Adam Silver starts directing it more towards a highlight league. There's just it's a ripple effect. It's just so many things happen in succession, and the quality of life in the NBA is sort of going down. And I think it is going to take your LeBron's retiring, your Steph Curry's retiring to make change in the NBA. Because what do you do when LeBron is gone? What do you do? He's it's all you see on social media. You can't retire. Like, even if you're not a
I'll tell you
LeBron
what,
fan, like,
he's
what
gonna
this
play
league
next. He's gonna play next season. Next season's gonna be his last season. He's gonna play barely any games this year because this is the last chance that he could actually win a title. I know that his contract is up. Next year's not title contending LeBron. It's going to be like I'm done playing LeBron, and I'm curious to see where he signs. But like that's just what it is. That's what it is.
I have to. I mean, this is the first time that we won't see LeBron play on opening night. So, if there was a year that we say Father Time really is catching up,
It's this one.
it's of course this year, and I think he's going to realize that too with his, sciatica injury that's going on.
Yeah.
The dude is 40 years old. He's been doing this for 22, going on 23 years. That is unbelievable. I don't care who you are as a human. It takes a toll on you. And I think it's going to take LeBron retiring to make the NBA improve its product because they've just been relying on LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry for so many years, and it's worked. It's worked.
Yeah.
Right? As soon as they're gone, it's okay. We have to put work back into the product to make it what it was before. We need a new LeBron. We need our new Steph. We need our new Kevin Durant. And you have the potential for those players, but the NBA has just been able to hold on because, like you said, social media hasn't changed that much. So you can just rely on those three guys to keep it going until they retire. So it's going to take a LeBron retirement for the league to really change up.
I think you're right, man. Let me just say this: it's just so fun to be back on the pod. It really is.
It is. This is so good to talk basketball, Mo, let me tell you.
It's fun to be back on the pod. Listen, for anybody that's made it the 57 minutes into this podcast, if you knew how much stuff Roman and I are going to talk about this year, we have updates that will blow your mind. There are things that Roman has done in the past few months. We can't talk about it yet, but literally come early next year, you are going to hear some stuff that you would have never thought possible. Like we never would expect it, especially from two brothers that just talk basketball. I just want to call it out. It's been a while since we've been on the pod. Originally, when we set this up, I was out of a job. I was trying to build something that could showcase my own ability to help me land a job again. And I wanted to make sure I had a close relationship with my brother who was playing college basketball out in Colorado. He was helping me out. And life update, I ended up getting a job. I was back in school trying to finish my degree, which I did. I've got two kids now. Like there was a lot that was happening in life that just made that sadly the pod took a back burner, I think, for a little bit. It never went away. We always talked about it. We knew we were going to come back to it, but there was just life that was happening in such a way that I had to prioritize, my wife, my kids, finishing my education. I was working full time and now things are back in a place where I feel like I can jump back in and we can really put something together that I think is going to be special. I know that the people listening right now are probably like my mom and some friends and maybe a few of the followers that have been with us since the beginning. I'm telling you right now, like we're not taking a hiatus like this ever again. Like the Swishlist podcast is going to it's going to mean something. And this is season 3 is really where we where we found the gas pedal, and I'm excited to really hit it hard this time. We've got so much in store where we're better at clips. Roman's going to be posting newsletters down the line. We plan on upgrading the logo, maybe launching merch. Like there's so much that's going to happen over the course of the next year, 2, 3 years. The dedication is going to be there in a way it wasn't before, for sure.
Couldn't agree more. Moses is being a little humble about it, especially in the past few days. I've tried to relay the message to him that I will be more involved this time. The first time that we went, I got to give props to my brother. He was doing everything. Like he said, he was trying to get a job out of it. I was playing college basketball, but Moses was editing the clips. He was posting them to all of our social medias. He not only editing clips, but editing the podcast. I would just come on here and talk. Moses was doing everything. He was doing absolutely everything. And I would just say my takes. So the difference is now Roman has grown up a little bit and realizes the platform that he has and the opportunity that can come from this. So I'm still learning. I'm going to be, like Moses said, picking up that newsletter thing, giving weekly updates on the NBA, and just helping build this content powerhouse that me and Moses are going to create. So we've got a 2 extra set of hands doing this now. So we're going to rise. It's going to have, like Moses said, there's some stuff that is going to happen in a few months that we can't even talk about yet, content wise. And I'll just say this: there's no way that we don't take off. So buy your stock on Moses and Roman and the Swishlist podcast right now. Because let me tell you, in a few months, who knows where we're going to be, but we are going to take off. Let's put that on the record now. Swishlist podcast will be known in the future.
Now, if you are listening right now and you know someone that needs to learn the game of basketball or thinks they know the game of basketball, send them this podcast. They need to give it a listen. This is an hour that will make them that much smarter. We're so excited. Opening night starts next week. We're recording this on October 16th. And so we're hyped. This is the calm before the storm, before we really get into everything that is the NBA. So please, if you agree with our takes, disagree with our takes, let us know on social media at Swishlist Pod. Let us know how you feel, what you think. If you have a topic you think we should cover, send it. We're going to be streaming once a week. Feel free to join the stream if you want to talk with us live. You'll have the podcast that's going to get uploaded weekly. We'll be posting clips on all major social media channels. And if you get a chance, please subscribe to The Sideline, our weekly newsletter posted on Beehive. We're so excited for what the season's going to bring. That's it for me. Roman, send us off.
The first send-off of the season, episode 1 of season 3. We are back. We are better than ever. Follow us on all the socials. We're on everything. If you have stuff you want us to talk about, if you have stuff you want us to expand on that, you didn't like, reach out to us. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. We are on all your favorite platforms. And if you're not checking us out, it's getting ridiculous. It's really getting ridiculous. I've been waiting to say that. Episode 1, Season 3, Swishlist Podcast. We are out.